guys. You ready?
I started it.
Oh. All right. You guys say. Is there a reason that you have to say that?
No.
This is the problem that you guys have. You can't shut up. No. Take notes and be quiet. I mean, it's not fair to these guys over here who don't say anything. If you're sitting over there and you don't normally say stuff, I'm not talking to you. Oh my God. 3-8, Pythagorean Theorem. All right? Memorize this. A squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Yeah, that's so easy.
All right, so basically it's dealing with a right triangle.
Yes.
Now this is a leg, and what's this called?
The side.
No.
The slope.
C.
No, the C thingy. The
Hypotenuse.
yeah. The H word. Which H word?
The longest length is the hypotenuse, okay? If you're given 3 lengths without a picture, the longest side, the longest length given is always the hypotenuse.
Can I move right there?
Yes. Okay? So it's important that you understand that the legs are always attached to the 90-degree angle. Alright, so this is a leg, this is the leg, and this is your hypotenuse. This is what you're going to do to those, okay? You square your legs,
Whoa, whoa.
and then you add them together. You got to square them first. You got to do exponents before you do addition, okay? You square the legs, add them together, and that gives you the hypotenuse squared. Not the hypotenuse, it gives you the hypotenuse squared. Which means to get the hypotenuse, you take the square root. I'll show you. Example 1. Here is your triangle. 3, 4, and C. So what you do is you match up where all the pieces are and you put them in this formula. These two are legs, so it doesn't matter which one's first. Alright? So I'm going to put this one first. I'm going to square it. And I'm going to put this leg next and square it. And that's supposed to equal c squared. So all I did was substitute the values.
Oh, yeah, I mean.
Okay, so 3 squared is what?
9.
9.
4 squared?
16.
Now what is
25.
9 16?
25.
25. Now, at this point, that's what c squared is.
Square root.
Anytime you want to get the root from a square, get the square root. What you do to one side,
You do to the other.
you do to the other.
Oh, yeah.
So square root of c squared is just c.
5.
Square root of 25 is 5.
That's the answer.
Draw, Parker.
That's the answer.
That's the answer. It's gonna be easy.
You guys, I don't need a comment every second. I need you to be quiet and just take notes.
So,
If you have a question, raise your hand. Otherwise, just be quiet. Abby.
okay, so it says c squared, but so wouldn't when you add the 9 and 16 together, you get 25. So then you plug that into the c, then you square 25 and then take that?
C is 5. 25 is c squared. 25 is what you get when you square c,
Oh,
which means it had to have been 5 to get to 25. Alright, so let's do another one. Example 2. Alright, so here you're missing a leg. I'll call it B, and this hypotenuse 13. So everybody substitute the numbers into the formula, and then solve for the variable. This is what we did back in chapter 1 and 2, solving for the variable. 3 steps. Set it up correctly. need to get b squared by itself, so I got to get rid of the 25 by subtracting it.
Oh, man.
So b squared equals 144. And now you take the square root of both sides. Okay? And b equals 12. Why isn't it negative? Why can't we say plus or minus 12? Usually when you take the square root, you can say it's plus or minus that. Yeah, it can be. But in this case, we're talking about the length of a side. Length can't be negative.
It can't?
Can't.
Oh.
Okay, so that's why I don't say plus or minus like we did on that assignment.
I, like, for the first part, like, I just took 5 squared plus b equals 13, and
B
then
squared.
I subtracted it. Yeah, I subtracted 25. I subtracted 13 from 25, and I still got 12, but I didn't work because that would end up negative, and then just
Yeah.
stop.
You got to square the thing.
Yeah, I realized that
Okay.
now.
Parker.
I thought everything on a triangle equaled up to 180.
The angles do. If you have the angles together, 90 plus these two, that'll give you 180 degrees. Okay? Example 3. Again, you have a right triangle. You're missing a leg. And you have the hypotenuse. Everybody figure that one out. What's that? I'll let you answer. Let's plug it in, see if you're doing it right. Who got that far?
Oh, okay. Well, oh, man.
I just want to know if you got that far. If you set it up properly.
I switched around that 8 and the 8.
That's okay. They're both legs, and it's an addition, so it doesn't matter which one you put first. So this leads to bigger things. We got to master this. All right, Bethany.
Then you do minus 64 on both sides,
Yep.
and you get 36. A squared equals 36 squared.
36, not 36 squared.
And you do square root and it's 6.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yes, got this.
You got that right.
Not me.
Awesome.
Oh,
Your assignment.
Give me start off.
After I give the assignment. Page 134, 2 to 32 evens. That's good enough. Okay.